Now to the part that I was going to share. Over the last 6 years of Ryan and I living with his parents, we took this on 6 years ago when Bob, I'm going to be honest, 6 years ago, we did not think he was going to make it more than about a month. He was that bad. We were able to, through diet, exercise, and proper medications, Ryan and I were able to get him off of he was on approximately 30 pills a day, and we've gotten him down to about 10 because he was on a lot of stuff he didn't need. But that was a choice, and I wish I could say it was a choice Ryan and I made. That was a choice that was Ryan's to make, and as his wife, I'm not very good at it all the time, but I try to submit to my husband. And if it was my decision, if it was my family, he would have made the same choice. He would have said, if that's what we need to do, we're going to do it. The reason I say that is because I really need to give Ryan some props here. Over the last 6 years, from outsiders, from church people, from, you name it, like anybody who's on Facebook, it doesn't matter. He has undergone character assassination. Some people have said some really hateful, ugly things about me and Ryan. We went through COVID together with his parents, and I was the only one for a year allowed to leave the house. That was tough. Because at the beginning of this, remember, we didn't know it wasn't going to kill everybody. Like, we were told if Ryan gets it or Bob gets it, they're going to die. So we endured that. We have had a child go from the age of 6 to the age of 12. We have one that went from 10 to he is now a 16-year-old. It has been challenging, to say the least. I love my in-laws to death. If I didn't, I wouldn't be living with them, okay? But through it all, Ryan has remained strong in his faith. And he is my rock. He is struggling with this, I know. I know his brothers are struggling with it. It's hard to watch your hero, the man who you grew up wanting to be like, this strong, powerful Navy man, turn into a shell of a person that you don't recognize. And living with him, I can tell you, my kids are like, that's not grandpa. They know it is, but it's tough. And it's got to be even worse being your dad. And so Ryan has really undergone a lot. And the one thing I want to tell you is through it all, he has stayed strong in his faith. And while there are days when he wants to absolutely murder me, that's totally a joke. But he loves me and supports me, and I love and support him. And the reason for our decision, because people have questioned it over and over, is biblical. So in 1 Timothy, verse 5:4, it says, but if they have children and grandchildren, let them first learn to show godliness to their own household and to make some returns to their parents, for this is pleasing in the sight of God. And then 5, 6, and 7 talk about widows and how you determine a widow. And it's weird. It's got like age brackets and all this stuff. But then verse 8 says, but if anyone does not provide first for his own household, he has denied his faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to live with their in-laws. That is not what I'm saying. Or their parents. I am saying you have to provide for the elderly, the widows, the orphans. We are called as Christ followers to honor our elders, to take care of them because they once took care of us. You can do that through prayer. You can do it financially. You can do it by supporting their caregivers, because trust me, it's a lot on me and Ryan's shoulders. Your prayers mean more than you will ever know. And lastly, I've had some people question how our marriage is going because of this, how, XYZ is going. First off, if you've got questions, come to me, okay? You're not going to offend me. It takes a lot to offend me. But if you do, you're going to know you've offended me. I will let you know. I am not a private person. I'm loud. I'm outspoken. My husband can tell you it is hard living with me. I got to give Ryan props. He is so strong to deal with me because I am a strong female. I try to do it all myself, and I know I can't. I don't like asking for help. And I'm very opinionated. And love me or hate me, you know where you stand with me and where I stand on the issues, period. So Ryan has been just a godsend. Best friend since we were 8 years old. He has loved me through thick and thin. And that is one thing I will tell all of you, okay? No matter what decisions you are facing in life, whether it be taking care of your family, you putting your kid through college, you going back to college like I am right now, like an idiot, running a business, working a job, being a teacher, whatever it is, your marriage, okay? Your parents love you because they're your parents. And now that I'm a mom, God, my kids infuriate me sometimes. But I love them, and I will always love them, no matter what they do. I will always love my child. Your parents love you because they're your parents. Kids love their parents because they are their parents. You love your grandparents, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. Family, you love because they are family. The only, one and only relationship that makes someone family that you get to choose in life is your spouse. Ryan and I do not have the perfect relationship. I'm going to state that right now. There are days I know he wants to kill me, and I joke, I say kill me. Like, there are days when he is like, Kristen, I'm going to put duct tape over your mouth, leave me alone. And there are days when I just can't even stand to be around him. I'm like, just shut up, leave me alone. I'm going to go lock myself in a closet. You know, just, I need time. But the difference is, you may not like your spouse every day. Love is not a feeling. If love was a feeling, we would be in love with somebody new every single day. Love is a choice. Every day I wake up, and I may not like Ryan that day. He may have royally ticked me off, but I choose to love him. I choose to honor and obey my husband. And the obey part, I'm really bad at. But those were our vows. For better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness and health, till death do us part. And I know, I've been through it once before, that there was a biblical reason that ended, but Ryan and I have been married. Next month, it'll be 18 years. And through it all, the one thing I can say is pray with your spouse and choose unconditionally to love your spouse. No matter how messy they are, Ryan, you know, I'm talking about myself here. Like, I'm horrible. I am the worst. Like, I'm great at running a cleaning business and like cleaning other people's house. But my house, forget it. Once I get home, I'm like, done. Or with Ryan, there are things like I can't control how he chews, but it drives me nuts. Or, you know, issues with his health or whatever. There are things that you don't like about your spouse. There's always going to be. But that's the one person that two things are different about biblically. That's the one person you get to choose. And that is the one person that the two of you have become one. You are now one flesh. You are now one unit in God's eyes. So wake up every day and choose to love your spouse. And I will tell you this, you never know when the last day you're going to have with them is. And I'm not saying that about me and Ryan. I'm just saying, watching my father-in-law, watching him not, some days he doesn't remember Shirley's his wife. It's hard. And you never know when that last day is. Ryan and I have had many scares with cancer. 2 scares, actually. Like, real, legitimate cancer scares. And I was worried. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to have a husband in a year. But through it all, God was good. And we chose to love each other. So hug your spouse, love your spouse, pray with your spouse. And I'll post another update as soon as I've got one, guys. I love you. and y'all have a great evening.